Alright, chemtrails, MN here. I had to do a quick video on this. I just ran across a article in the Daily Mail TV, and this is in the UK, the British, English, London website, dailymail.co.uk. Unbelievable. It's about moon rock, okay? And if you've watched my other videos, you know I do not believe that in 1969 we landed on the moon. I don't believe it. I don't believe we went through the Van Allen belts. No one could survive the radiation. They can't even do it today. They've admitted, and NASA has admitted, you can Google it, they have admitted that you cannot go past the Van Allen radiation belts even today. How did they do it in 1969? I believe Stanley Kubrick staged all of the moon landings, all of them. They're all fake. But let's just focus on this latest article that just came out. This is breaking news. Earth's oldest rock may have been discovered, and it was picked up by astronauts on the moon during the Apollo 14 mission in 1971. Okay, so the first one was in 1969. I don't know, I was 12 years old or something. I watched it on television, and I couldn't believe it then. But, okay, that was Apollo 11 in 1969, so Apollo 14 went back in 1971. The lunar sample was brought back to Earth for further analysis after astronauts collected it during the third mission to the moon. Now, 48 years later, experts are claiming that this relic was once part of Earth after it ended up on the moon after a large comet or asteroid collided with the Earth. Ha ha ha! Are you kidding me? What they're basically telling you is, oh, we brought back this rock from the moon, but now experts looked at it and it's actually from the Earth. Well, really? Duh. It's from the Earth because no one brought it back from the moon. They found it out in the Earth and they said, oh, here's a moon rock. It's just so painfully obvious and ridiculous. I'm going to read that again. Now, 48 years later, experts analyzed this rock from the Apollo 14 moon mission, and they're saying, oh, it's actually was once part of the Earth after it ended up on the moon after a large comet or asteroid collided with the Earth, and then it just magically bounced 289,000 miles through space. This little piece of rock hit... it's absurd. This is the most absurd, insane NASA claim I've heard to date, and this is new. They're saying that an asteroid hit the Earth and an old rock from the Earth bounced off the Earth and flew through space. Just unbelievable. So the asteroid hit the Earth, bam. Then this asteroid dislodged a rock, and this rock flew from the Earth all the way to the moon. And then Apollo 14 went, and they found this rock, and they brought it back to Earth for us to analyze. Is it the most absurd, insane, stupid thing that you have ever heard in your whole entire life? It makes me mad. It makes me so mad. You can see the flames coming out of my hair. It's the most absurd, ridiculous thing I have ever heard. This tops it, NASA. This really tops it. I just can't believe that you are subscribing to this. All right, so let's go back to the story. Researchers from NASA believe that the impact of the collision jettisoned the rock into space and then landed back on the surface of the moon, 300,000 miles or so. Are you kidding me? You know what the chances are that a rock would fly the exact trajectory? Do you know how perfect it would have to be to have that fly back to the moon? Do you have any idea of the trajectory, and everything is moving? It's the most absurd thing I have ever seen. Gives me a headache. See the headache I'm getting? I'm getting this headache because I don't believe NASA. All right, let's go back to the story. This is laughable, okay? Again, researchers from NASA believe that the impact of the collision jettisoned the rock into space and then landed on the surface of the moon. Then they picked it back up and brought it back. Okay. Unbelievable. The rock subsequently mixed with other materials on the lunar surface. And then they found it. They flew all the way up there and found it. 3.9 billion years ago. Unbelievable. Let's see. The researchers believe that this impact helped bring the piece of Earth back to the moon's surface. What do you mean back to the surface? You're contradicting yourself. I don't understand that. But it's an extraordinary find that helps paint a better picture of early Earth and the bombardment that modified our planet during the dawn of life. Experts found the moon rock formed at temperatures similar to those found on the Earth today. Oh, what a coincidence. You know, you're basically saying you found the rock here on the Earth and then you said it was a moon rock. It crystallized about 12.4 miles below the surface between 4 billion and 4.1 billion years ago when the Earth was young. The team identified materials from Earth after they developed techniques for locating impact fragments in the lunar soil. They found that the 2-gram fragment of rock was composed of quartz, feldspar, and zircon, all commonly found on Earth and highly unusual on the moon. Haha, really? 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 Highly unusual on the moon? Yeah, because you found it on the Earth. It's unbelievable. They went out and found a rock laying in Earth, and then they said it was from the moon. Then they said it was originally on the Earth and it flew back to the moon. You know the chances of a rock just shooting off from the Earth and getting all the way back to the moon? It's absurd. It's absurd, people. This is probably one of the most absurd things I have ever heard NASA say to date. Alright, so what else do they say? Many researchers believe that the moon formed after Earth was hit by a planet the size of Mars billions of years ago. So they're saying that's how the Earth was formed. I don't know. That's interesting stuff. What else? You know, the whole point of the story is, again, they say Apollo 14 went to the moon, brought back a rock, and but it's from the Earth. Bam. That's all I'm gonna say. Bam. So now there's some really interesting comments that people have already commented. Okay. Rock from Area 51. That's pretty funny because a lot of people think that the moon landings were actually filmed around Area 51. If you haven't checked out Shill Stompers yet, check them out. They've got a lot of great videos, and they say that most of the moon landings were filmed in a big old dump, an old landfill dump, and they show you pieces of the. If you look at the actual moon pictures, you can see pictures from the dump. It's amazing. Go to Shill Stompers here on YouTube. Okay, so let's see. It's so funny. One comment. When they flipped over the stone, it said in clear writing, Elvis was here, 78. It's pretty funny. Another guy said, property, they found something on the rock that said, property of Paramount Pictures Props Department. That's funny. That's really funny. Indeed, that is an Earth rock. They found it in an astronaut's garden, not on the moon. That is so funny. Here's a great story somebody wrote. I'll read this quick. We have, and this guy that wrote this is Smith MGA or something. He writes, "We have never gone farther than orbiting the Earth around 200 miles up. We killed 3 astronauts on the ground in 1967 during a training accident. If anyone believes 2.5 years later, in 1969, we went from low Earth orbit to flying 237,000 miles away, over 1,000 times further, and landing on the moon, you might want to question your reasoning skills. And we did it 6 times without incident or injury to astronauts. Yes, astronauts did fly missions. However, they were low Earth orbits. Stanley Kubrick directed the moon landing. Even director Ron Howard said we faked it. Do your research before denying this. It is a huge hoax. We still don't have technology 49 years later. After the Challenger disaster in January 1986, it was 2.5 years before we orbited the Earth again. I found 2 videos of astronauts on the International Space Station who tell us we have never gone beyond low Earth orbit because of the Van Allen belts." So, bam, that was a great article, guy. Smith, whatever his name was. He nailed it, okay? It was all faked. They went 1969. Yeah, they took off. They flew. They orbited around the Earth 200 miles up. Then they came back down, splash with their parachute. They never went to the moon. I'm telling you, they never went to the moon. All right, let's see if there's anything else here that's funny. Any other? Okay, this is more proof. Here's another comment from a guy from Cork, Ireland. "This is more proof that the moon landings were an elaborate hoax. So NASA claimed at the time that astronauts went to the moon and brought back some moon rock. But later, when it's independently analyzed, it is proven that it's a normal Earth rock. Possibly, normal Earth rock. Bam! But later it is possibly taken from outside NASA's main office in Washington. And yet after they are exposed, the lies keep on coming out. And now they claim an explosion caused chunks of our planet to land on the lunar surface. LOL. They must take us all for uneducated fools." It's right on. Right on, guy from Cork, Ireland. You nailed it. It's the most unbelievable thing. Is this making you mad? It should. It should make you mad. You know how many trillions of dollars NASA has spent telling you they went to the moon? And they didn't go. Should make you mad. All right, let's see if there's any other good... I don't see any other... I don't see any other good comments here that I can read. So, again, NASA went to the moon. Does it make you mad? Should make you mad. Bam. That's all I'm going to say. So another moon hoax, interesting story that just came out. They have to explain away that a rock supposedly brought home from the moon, brought here to the Earth from the moon. Oh, it's from the Earth. Oh, and the stories they make up, they must think we're all complete idiots. And the sad thing is there's a lot of people out there that believe this NASA story. Somehow that went all the way from the Earth back to the moon, and then they brought it back again. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. What do you think? Put your comments in I want comments, people. I don't get many comments anymore. Put comments in. What do you think? You think the moon landing was a hoax? You think it was real? What do you think? I want to know what you think. What do you think? All that aside, what do you think of this story? Okay, you people who really think that you people that really think that we went to the moon, what do you think of this story? Do you think that that rock really bounced all the way back from the Earth to back to the moon? It would get burned up, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it just burn up in our atmosphere? It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But please put your comments in. I really want to know what you think. And please, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Also, like this video and share it out there. And I hope everybody has a great day. Flying away, NASA, you bunch of bums. All right, take care, everybody.